Hey guys, so everybody knows that you have this desire to open a practice and then you hang a shingle, you wait for patients to show up, and maybe they do or maybe they don't. So today's clinics that are truly thriving are the ones that treat marketing like any other system in their business, right? It's something that needs to be intentional and needs to be measurable, and of course, with the right support and experts to help you drive patients to come and find you and be part of your practice. We all know that content marketing, ads, all of these things are part of that strategy. But today, I'm excited to talk about a strategy that you layer on top of whatever else that you're doing with regards to marketing for your practice, for your community, around SEO and other marketing tips for your practice. So today, I'm excited to welcome Darcy Sullivan, who is the owner of her company, and she's going to share more about all of the things that she helps practices with, and hopefully you walk away with some great tips. So welcome to the show, Darcy. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here today.
So tell me about yourself, your background. Like, how did you get into marketing?
Absolutely. So I went to school for technical computer graphics, something.
Yeah.
Came into the workforce, was in corporate America for about a decade, and then went on to open my own group called Propel Marketing and Design. And at the time when we opened, we were doing everything marketing, and then started to really niche down into helping healthcare providers market through SEO, search engine optimization, because it's so important these days.
It's amazing. And I actually was just having a conversation with my business coach yesterday about SEO. And it is not something that I've even done well, I think, for our own firm. And so excited to learn from you, excited to share this with our practices, because I think, in learning from our practices, where do they struggle, right? They do struggle with, being known in the community sometimes as the leader, and helping with different ways to get them to be visible in the community, I think, is always important, right? More patients is always a good thing. So I'd love to just hear, let's start from the basics, right? Because I went to medical school. I think of a lot of our listeners are in healthcare. Tell me, what is SEO? Let's just start from the very beginning. And I know all of this is changing with AI, and I do want to talk a little bit about that, but let's just start from the basic. What in plain English is SEO?
Okay, so SEO, search engine optimization. The easiest way that I've found to describe this, and this is going to sound kind of dorky, but I love Oreo cookies.
Okay? Oh, I love Oreos.
Okay, so one day I picked up an Oreo cookie, and I'm like, this is a great way to explain SEO to somebody in very simple terms. With an Oreo cookie, you have a top layer, a bottom layer, or wafer, and the sweet stuff in the middle that holds it all together. With SEO, you can kind of think of it, I like to think of it as the cookie metaphor, the Oreo metaphor. You have on-page SEO, which are actions you take on your website to improve your brand's reputation online. You have the other end, the off-page SEO, things that you do outside of your website to improve your website's performance online and also your online rankings of your brand. And then you have that sweet stuff in the middle that holds it all together. That's clearly identifying your target market, identifying their needs, what their problems are, and using the words, or in SEO, we say keywords, that they're using, along with knowing where they're going to search so you can position yourself there. And so we have this traditional way of doing SEO, but it's evolving, obviously, because of AI, and search is always changing. But still, the SEO Oreo cookie way of looking at things, I think, is the easiest way to think about it.
Okay, so I'm going to simplify this even more just for my brain. So we've got stuff on the website, stuff off the website, and SEO is the glue that hands it all together.
Right, but the stuff in the middle is the stuff that brings it together. All of it's SEO, but the stuff in the middle is identifying your target audience, how they search online, what words they're using, that kind of stuff.
Got it. And is this, so in your experience working with practices, Is this something that if they're brand new, they should be working on? Is this something that, maybe is later on in part of the marketing strategy? Like, where does this fit in terms of the timeline for a practice? Or is this an
So
always thing?
it's an always thing. It's an always thing. Always be optimizing. There's core key elements to it. When we talk about off-page SEO, your Google business profile listing, that's what controls how you show up in Google Maps. Then you have your Apple listing, you have your Bing listing, you have all these listings that they're not one and done. Like, you don't just put them out there and then walk away and never look at them. But as you're setting up your clinic, one of the first things that you want to do is, besides setting up a website, obviously, is make sure that you stake your claim and you say, this is who we are, this is where we're located. And I think everybody knows the importance of, when somebody Googles you, they want to be able to see all the amazing reviews and be able to easily find the right location. And we often refer to those listings as citations.
Okay.
And we refer to them also as your NAP, your name, your address, and your phone number. That needs to be consistent throughout all your online listings and your website.
So if a practice is starting and they've started those Google business profiles or their other profiles, what's a quick tip on how to optimize those?
Great question. So with your Google business profile listing, along with the other listings, obviously use your correct name. Don't try to shove some keywords in there to make it work. But you want to fill out all of the information as much as you can. And also make sure your hours are matching throughout, that you've listed your services, that you've given really some key insights into what differentiates you from others. And also that you're uploading images, so your logo and some real images, that you're not using stock photography, but you're using happy, smiley staff members that make your company look warm and inviting, and like you're going to be able to provide the kind of care somebody's looking for.
And what are the buckets of SEO strategy, just high level, right? So it seems like there's stuff on the website, there's profiles and settings in that direction. Help me understand just high level, the buckets of SEO or the work that a team like yours kind of puts into.
Okay, so we have your website, which is your hub, right? That's where a lot of people go before they book an appointment, because they want to learn more information about you. So when it comes to your website, you want to make sure that it loads quickly, that it looks good on mobile, that it's very easy for somebody to determine when they land there, are they in the right place? Is this clinic going to be able to provide the services that I need? And is it easy and frictionless to make an appointment with them, or to find out how to go about making an appointment with them? So all of those are core elements. And also, depending on what services or modalities you offer, we like to have those clearly outlined on the website, along with having clear structure, so that way we're providing all of this information that's helpful to the people that are searching. And this is also going to help you with those new AI searches, making sure that you've provided all of the correct information in an easy to digest way.
And now, speaking of AI, so now, people are going into ChatGPT or Grok or whatever and searching for those, searching for somebody in those. So is the strategies that you're talking about today on Google or business profiles or all of those things, do those translate over to AI, or are there new things that you're having to do on top of that to trigger ChatGPT or somebody to recognize you?
So I think that's the question that so many people are asking. And, it's when
TBD.
you Google stuff. Yeah. Well, when you Google and you look up information like that, you're going to see all these articles about the hottest and the latest and the greatest. And it can be a little bit of a clickbait situation. But when you are practicing the core fundamentals when it comes to SEO, you are going to absolutely knock it out of the park when it comes to AI. And where AI is pulling this information is it's pulling it from your websites, from your listings. And this is going to sound a little crazy, but you remember how back in the day, like Yellow Pages was a thing and
Yeah.
now everybody makes fun of Yellow Pages? Well, the online Yellow Pages, YP.com, like it's making a comeback because Bing pulls information from the Yellow Pages online listing, which then Bing is connected to ChatGPT. Like everything's connected. So when it comes to your online listings, making sure again that all of them are accurate, even if you hate Yelp, make sure that you've got your Yelp listing in check. And all of this on top with really providing that amazing content on your website where it's structured the right way can really help you start to see progress when it comes to your rankings, both AI and in traditional search and in voice search. And it doesn't have to be as techy as people think SEO is.
Okay, that helps. And okay, one question I've always had is what the heck are backlinks? I know people talk about backlinks, and I know that's a silly question, but again, I'm a physician. This is not my world. And we had somebody do something with backlinks, I don't know, when we first started. And I'll be honest, I think after this conversation, I need to think about SEO more. But help me understand, what are backlinks?
Okay, so the way I like to explain backlinks are, let's pretend that you are a freshman in high school and you're kind of a dork and you don't know anybody. And it's your first day and you're walking through the hall and your older brother is the varsity football player and he gives you a big old high five as you're walking down the hallway. All of a sudden you're cool by association, right? Like, so that's how I like to explain backlinks. Now, backlinks are links from other websites that are linking to your website. Where people get this wrong is they go out and buy a lot of backlinks, or they do something like that. Now, what I suggest is partnership programs within your community, because yeah, it's great to get just in general backlinks, but if they're cruddy backlinks, they're not going to do anything for you. If you partner with an organization where they're giving you a backlink so they're linking from their website to your website, let's just say you even did a sponsorship, which can be a backlink. Mm-hmm. But the institute that you're sponsoring, let's just say it's a local soccer team, right? But you know that the parents on the local soccer team are your ideal patients. Or I give the example, like, let's just say we work with a lot of chiropractors. You're a chiropractor and you partner with a running club and you put together this video, this really awesome content about stretches they should do as they're prepping. And so the group links back to your website. So when people think about backlinks, like, yes, it's great to get a backlink from CNN or some of the big people, and you can do PR blitzes to get that. But if we're talking about some of the smaller practices, it's better to go to your community and see how you can be involved in your community and gain quality backlinks to your website. So, but I get it. So many people are like, well, we paid this one company to do this backlink strategy. And then either it tanks because they did it the wrong way, or they're like, well, I don't know what happened. And to the people that are like, I don't know what happened, or I don't know if what we're doing is really working. You want to look at analytics systems, which is like Google Analytics or other analytics systems that's going to tell you what it is that are the key drivers driving traffic to your website and what content are people visiting before they determine that you are in fact the clinic that they want to book an appointment with.
And so if somebody comes to work with someone like your firm, are you helping provide suggestions on the backlinks, or is there a third party that you use, or is it you're kind of giving some guidelines, but then having them go and start those partnerships? Like, how does that piece work?
So the way that we work is we have a DIY program for those that are just getting started or working with a lower budget. Then we have done with you services and we have done for you services along with website design. But our primary focus is website design, local SEO and helping you with your Google business profile listing, those other online listings, and working with you when it comes to guiding you into what would be good opportunities for those backlinks. Because backlinks are one element, but we have to take into account all the core elements.
Got it. So it seems like there's a multi-pronged approach to getting visibility, in the community.
Absolutely. But you can see how this all ties into the core fundamentals of marketing, right? Like defining your position in the market, who you're going to partner with, how you're going to position yourself, putting together great content, because once you have great content on your website, it's perfect to push it out through email, through social media. But we try to say that we try to put SEO at the core of the marketing instead of just like sprinkling it on top as an after fact.
Yeah, I've definitely done this wrong. So talk. It's just for us. We've done, and I think our audience knows this, obviously, because we're on a podcast, right? And we have, $50,000, $50 to 100,000 or something like that downloads. Like we have a lot of downloads, which is great. But we've obviously missed the boat on this. So I think, is there ever a time that it's too late, or can practices go, okay, I haven't done that yet, help me add all this in?
It's never too late, and you get a compounding effect. So like if you're like, okay, well, I don't feel like I could tackle this one element, but I know we could tackle a couple of these elements. Darcy, I know that we could go online and make sure that all of our listings are correct, even if we don't know how to touch the back end of our website. Okay, now I understand that we have somebody running our website, but we have no idea what's going on. Let's ask for a report and get them to fill in the information for us to help us understand what's going on. So sometimes it's about deciding what are the right questions to ask before you even really dive into things, so that you don't feel overwhelmed.
I like that. Yeah. This marketing in general can be overwhelming because there's all kinds of things you can do, right? There's organic content, there's ads, there's blogs, websites, cold outreach, warm outreach. I mean, the list just goes on. But so I think simplifying it and understanding where a practice is currently at, layering this on intentionally, I think is very valuable.
And when they're just getting started with your website and you're like, okay, we know we need to do SEO, start with the core foundation, which is your homepage, your, what we would recall like your general services page that highlights all of the services that you offer, and then any specific ones as well. Actually having that content on your website makes it easier for people to find you. And now when we're seeing this line of AI searches, people are looking for the best doctor that focuses on fill in the blank. So surrounding content about what you want to be known for or how you want to position yourself is more important now than it necessarily was prior, because prior the search and the AI wasn't meeting people with where they are. And, we saw things years ago when voice search started to come on board, where people, instead of typing in Facebook CEO to see who the CEO of Facebook was, they would say, who is the CEO of Facebook? So listen to the way that your audience talks and the words that they're using and the way that they're phrasing things, so that you can match their lingo. Obviously, you're going to want to layer on a layer of sophistication if it's when it comes to medical responses, but focusing on those core elements, focusing on, again, making sure your website is up to speed, that it's got the key elements. I like to see people focus on that before they get distracted with blogging and doing other activities. And then it's so sad. Sometimes we see these clinics that focus all their energy on YouTube or on a social media platform, but they don't bring it to their website or where conversions take place. And they're missing this like huge opportunity. So that's again why we say if you can put SEO in the center, it really does help you in all ways.
Oh, I like that. Do you have like a case study or an example of a practice who has started working with you? Like, how long does it take? Because I know SEO is not a like tomorrow patients start filing out the door. It takes a little time. So maybe talk to us about an example or what people can expect when they start SEO, the time to where patients are, overflowing their front office.
Well, that's hard to give exacts because that's like saying, give me directions to New Mexico. And I'm like, well, are you
Where?
starting in Georgia or are you starting in California? Because I got to
Fair
give you the right directions. But, we see some clinics that they see immediate results because they weren't doing anything and now they're doing like a little bit or they're doing something, and within like a week or two you see things happen.
Great.
We also see people that are in more dense areas like New York City, where you got to put more effort into it and it's going to take a couple of months. And it also depends on your competition. Like, we can help and direct you with what you're doing, but we can't do anything about a competitor opening across the street.
Yeah. Understood. And so where do people find you if they're like, yes, okay, I need something, I need help. Where can people find you and get in touch?
Absolutely. So you can visit our website, propelyourcompany.com. And on there, you will see we've got free SEO training, or you can book a discovery call, and we would love to chat with you.
Okay, awesome. Great. Well, this has been super helpful. I am also going to go check out your website because I do think that this is a really important topic and something that I've obviously not paid enough attention to. So I've got homework now. And any last tips or words of advice for the listeners?
So there's so much more to SEO than what we were able to cover today, obviously, but I didn't want to overwhelm anybody. So you can visit the website, you can check out that free training or book a discovery call, but also just start small. And that's making sure that your website fully represents what your organization offers, that it's easy to navigate, that it loads quickly, and that booking or making an appointment or knowing how to take next steps is easy, that online your NAP, your name, your address, and phone number are congruent throughout all of your listings. That's the first step. And then from there, you can always improve.
And as always, if you're enjoying the podcast, we would love a review on wherever you're listening to this podcast. It helps us grow and reach more physicians who are out there growing practices. So thanks so much, Darcy, for being on today. We'll have to have you back on and share more about SEO or other tips that you have for the practice. This was super helpful. So thank you so much.